today we're doing another video of fishing, as you can see, but fishing on the lake next to the lake that I was fishing on last when I had the GoPro on. This is mainly a carp lake. The other one did catch a lot of carp, but they were small. This one, get a carp, it's quite big. So I'm gonna probably, I don't really know, I'm just fishing on lunch and meat. I've got paste for when it gets a bit later on, see if they want to come down the edge. I'm going to be fishing down the edge, but I think paste when it gets later on attracts them more. I've chucked a handful of paste in to get them feeding, so let's try and get one. This will be my first cast. Wait, second cast. Yeah. I'm just fishing just down there with paste. Normally where I catch a few. A couple of days ago I came and had 8 carp just out here, and the average I would say in this lake's about 3, so I did really well. But this is what I'm doing. So basically I'll just do it with lunch meat. You normally, if it's lunch meat, just plop it in like that and just sit and wait. Or if you're using paste, you would put it in the pot, lower it in like that, and then just drop it in, pull it, and the float will just sink like that. But obviously, because paste is a bit heavier, the paste will sink the float more, so it's harder to indicate a bite. Because the float's actually already nearly under, it's harder to indicate a bite, as in if the float was sticking completely out of the water. If the float went under, you can guarantee it's a bite, but if the float goes under now, it might just be the weight of the bait and the shot that's on it. Because a BB was a bit too much for this float, I think. Or it was about right, but with the meat, pulls it under nearly. Like this one there. But, updates, lost 1 carp. About 2 seconds, to be fair. But you could tell it was a carp because it pulled a lot of elastic out. That was a bite straight away. I don't know if you saw, but the float does go under, but not as much as that. That just bolted under straight away. You could tell 1,000,000% that was well, probably a carp, but definitely a fish. And it wasn't just the float, the weight pulling it under. So that's the weight, but it just suddenly just started to go bang, like. First bite I've had in about 5 minutes. What do you got? This is the fish messing with it now. Yeah, it was because the bait's gone. I am going to try some paste now, and this is how you do paste. So I personally like it nice and soggy, so it's not too hard for the carp to get in their mouth, or roach, or whatever takes it. And just mix it up, like just into a small bowl, depending on how much you put in, and just put it in. And because I haven't got any like 2mm pellets or emp or anything to extra, that's all I'm feeding, just paste. And then you see, I just drop it in, pull the float back, and then just let it fall. Most of the time it's more positive bites that you get on paste. Right now, the float's trapped against some like weedy stuff that's in the water. I'm sure if the fish takes it, the float will go under, depending on if the pastes come off or not. Sometimes you'll find, it may happen now, that the float comes back up. The float sort of just comes back up because the paste has come off. It's the weight of the paste. See, normally don't like doing that because the paste normally comes off because it's quite like weak. Yeah, that was a bite. Try a bit more paste, but because the paste weighs a lot, and it's pulling the float under. Once it comes off, the float comes back up because there's nothing holding it down apart from the shot. It's paste off, and that's it. There's another carp alarm going. It might not have been carp taking it because I only heard a few beeps, beepy beeps, but yeah. Right, now this float's going to disappear any second, I know it. It probably isn't, but it'd be nice if it did. The paste is definitely still on, even though the float's come back up, the paste is on, because when there's bubbles coming round it, and, you know, and like the float's still moving. There we go, there's a carp. There's a carp. We're in. This is a carp. Oh, fucking hell. This is a carp. You can tell because of all the elastic that's coming out. We're into a carp. Don't know how big it is. This one is coming up quite quickly. Go away, stupid wasp. Just get the net. It's pulling quite hard. Oh, it's gone over there. Oh, don't go over there. I don't want it to ruin my spot where I've been fishing. You see, I'm trying to keep it away from there. Right, I've got to bull it now because it's really going. I've got to bull it away. Oh, it's gone right into where I'm fishing. Not very big, but it's a start. Now let's get this one in the net. See, that was pretty quick. The float went under after about 15-20 minutes of fishing. We're into a carp. It's not very big. Oh, no. I hate it when I get stuck in the net because you can bump them off by doing that. Here he comes. Oh, he's out. And we've got him. Nice fish. Only a little one. Actually, probably as big as get his rod. And he was into a carp. I don't know how big it is yet. I think it's a bit bigger than mine. I'm not sure though. It feels bigger. It could be that. It could be a 10. Might not be a 10, but oh, he's a nice one. He is. He might be 10. Oh, he did feel like a nice fish. He might be 10. He might not be. I'm not sure. It does look like a big one, but I don't know how big. Like I said, this is the sort of, like, these are bigger fish, the ones that you catch in here than the other lake. Don't go over there, there's a snag over there. And the bloke fishing on this peg once, he hooked a carp there. As soon as he hooked it, shot all the way over there and got him caught in a snag, and he lost the fish. And it snapped him. Come in. I wouldn't have to fish myself, but there's no point when I've got an assistant. This fish, yeah, he might not be 10. Come over to show. And by feeling the rod, this feels like something special. I've got a feeling that this is a 10. Yeah, this is... Oh, it's not that big actually. I thought it was a lot bigger. It's still probably bigger than the first one my granddad had, but it's not as big as the, no, it's big, should I say, it's bigger than the one I had. I don't know, he might be a 10, because he's not that fat, he's quite long. Yeah, he's probably a 10 actually. So we're back again, guys, with a carp, thank God. I don't even know. That actually looked like it's a very small carp. Why am I the one that catches the small carp? I want to catch the big carp. It's the one I caught before. No, it's a bit bigger. No, I think it genuinely is.
Hello guys,
We're back and I'm fishing with my granddad's friend Paul for a bit. Couldn't catch anything, so he said let me have a go. There's been a lot of carp on this green swim stim stuff. Very messy. But there's been a lot of carp, so that's all I care about. Carp, 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 big one. I hope that's what happens. We haven't had anything over £10 yet today. See my face just there. Jesus, there's a lot of bubbles. Oh, I don't think there was actually a fish on them. Just fishing with a white knuckle pole, which is a very good pole. Using this, just sort of putting the hook in it. It's a size 10 hook. And then just doing that. And putting a couple of pieces of pellets in. I'll show you where I'm fishing. I mean, you could probably see. Yeah, this is a nice fish, this is. I just hooked it on some paste, like the green swim stim, like I said.
That other one, I think, the hooks on it. Yeah.
What?
Similar size to that last one.
The one that you just caught?
Or one, yeah, or on it, the other one.
Yeah, it looks about a 10 to me. Come on. What pound line is it?
£6.
Whoa, that makes me a bit scared. I think when it came on.
Power line.
Power. Oh. Literally bends in half, this pole does, but it's really strong, which is the good thing. Yeah, he's a 10, I bet. I think might be the first 10 of the day. I mean. Yeah, it's not actually as big as I thought it was. It's about 8. Don't go over there. It's 8 or 9. It looked. I thought I saw a big belly on it, but obviously not.
You've got to try and keep it away from there.
Yeah, yeah.
Swim.
This will be my 3rd. Maybe if I have another go, my 4th. You never know. I love playing carp on pole though. It's one of the funnest ways, just because it takes longer to get them in, so you think they're bigger. Oh, this is where it goes again. Or not. Or is it where it comes in? Hopefully. It's
elastic. Yeah, that's elastic. Pull it in.
It's a nice one, that is. It might be a 10. No, do you think it is a 10? It looks it. It does look.
I don't know what it's like. Yeah, don't look like it.
It's quite.
Depends how it's hooked.
I think it's hooked in the mouth, judging by how it's fighting.
The only trouble with poles, you get a false finger with them.
What?
Till you get them out, it gives you a false, how big they can be.
I love playing carp on pole. He is a nice fish. He's a 10. He's a 10. He is a 10. Definitely. I was hoping it'd be quite big. Well, more bites, should I say. After that one, I haven't really had much. The bait is on. My granddad's just had a fish. I think he's going to take a picture of it in the net. I'm not sure, but yeah, float's not really doing much. Oh, as soon as I say that, it nearly goes under. But it's not doing much a lot. It is going. It is sort of like moving, but not. It's not pulling under completely. Getting close to the end of the day. Probably got a quarter of an hour left, something like that. Not very long. Fishing on pace down the edge again where I was, and something's taking it, but nothing really. Just a bit of just a bit of roach. Me, just a few. Did you have any more? 9? How big were they?
Biggest of 8.
Yeah. There we go. And we've got a carp. He's all the way out there. I didn't realise how far out he was. Flipping hell. He's still out there still. Don't go over there. That's where I caught you. Get the top kit. The net's behind me for when I need it. I don't know how big he is exactly. Although he is going again. This one really went. I don't even know if it's that. I don't know actually about this one. He's a nice one. He's not massive. In fact, might be that deformed one that Mark had earlier. This would be 14. Number 14. I think it is that deformed one that Malk had. Malk's first carp, actually, that one was. Hopefully, maybe I can get another one after this. Probably have just one more cast. After this one. See where it went? It went all the way out there. And then I had the top kit, I got it up. And then it went all the way out there again. Hey, it's raining, I think. Just started, I believe. I felt a raindrop on my arm. It's almost like a big bream, like a £10 bream. If this was a bream, it'd be like a £20-pounder. I wish it was a £20 bream. Obviously it isn't, it's £10 at the most. This is what I mean, it goes whenever it wants. I'm going to have to use this pull kit in a second. The puller kit's more for when you got them a bit tired and they're closer in, like this. If they're going and that, you don't want to use the puller kit. It could snap the elastic. That's what happened to me the other day. I was pulling the elastic when it was going, and I snapped the elastic. I'll be surprised if you can actually see the float. The camera, I can barely see it. Bait come off. Yeah. That was very quick for the bait to come off, but it did. I don't know if it's because it was soggy on that, but... Sitting on the sofa, it wasn't me. It was a whole box of donuts. Well, probably me. Yeah, tickle me right hand.